Question 4 is the final question. Should you use to support the Edinburgh Rector, Peter McCall, in his strategy for improving accommodation? Do we have anyone who can take a speech for the Yes campaign? Okay. Sorry. That's fine.
Hello. So in my first year, when I first got here, I'd applied to be in a single room in self-catered accommodation, but I was instead put in a shared room in bunk beds in catered accommodation, which is not what I applied for. And the result of that was, it was simply because there wasn't enough space for everyone in the place that they wanted. So they had to put people into 2 rooms. I actually got off quite lightly. Some of the people who I know were put in a hostel, sharing the facilities with backpackers who often have a different schedule to some students. Or maybe not. Since then, one of the halls in Pollock has become a hotel for rich businessmen. That's Masson House. And now, this year, over 100 students are out in Musselburgh, 40 minutes away from Central Campus. As a result of that, there's not enough space for them to be in Pollock because businessmen are there, so they're being kicked out of the city. This is a direct consequence of a university that has lost track of its objectives. Essentially, what I'm saying we need to do, goes to the heart of everything we do as a student movement, is that we need to be putting student welfare before making profit or before excessive executive pay. So I'm saying stop the privatisation of our educational institutions. I'm saying let's take back our uni and vote yes. Question 4. Thank you.
Sorry, to speak on behalf of the local. Okay, is there anyone who's got any questions?
Could you say exactly what Peter McCall's strategy for improving accommodation?
Yes, I can. I wanted to go into that in more detail in my speech. Fortunately, these issues sometimes can't be condensed into 2 minutes. Essentially, there's 3 strands to it. The first is that all student housing is prioritised for students, which makes sense, but that is, of course, not what the university has been doing. So students should be given priority over rich businessmen. The second point is that our accommodation has to be sustainable and be positive towards protecting our planet. So that means better recycling facilities and also adequate bicycle racks, etc. And finally, it means the third strand is affordability. When you can apply for student accommodation and be put in something more expensive than all the options you apply for, I don't think that's okay. I think the most important thing is that students have enough money to live off. In the last 10 years, the university has gone mad on building luxury accommodation and has completely ceased to build affordable accommodation for students. I think it needs to stop.
That's right.
How will you accomplish this?
So this is the Edinburgh Rector's strategy. He's of course not a student there, so he cannot propose it himself, but I worked with him on it. So the Rector chairs the University Court, which is the highest decision-making body in the university. So he can choose what goes on the agenda for all the court meetings, and that's essentially the board of directors, the board of management. If this motion passes, then that will mandate our 2 student representatives on that body to speak in favour and to vote for this strategy, which will be chaired by Peter. So essentially it will mean that we have a huge mandate that this is what students want. Students voted for it in a referendum, the university rector supports it, and indeed our sabbatical officers support it as well.
Okay, there's another question over here. Time.
Yeah, I've just got a technical point as well, that like the trustee board, the university court has to vote in favour of what's in the interest of the university, and so can't be mandated to necessarily follow a policy that may result in something which is detrimental to the university. I just wanted to put that point in there.
Okay. Is there any more questions?
You would have never met me if you hadn't been in Chancellor's Court.
How do you feel about that?
can I ask a question, purely because I think it's an argument that the university use all the time, which is that university rent has only increased by about 1.5% over the last 3 or 4 years. Other universities in the UK, they're having to run campaigns of 5 and 10% rises in rent. One of the ways in which the university managed to keep a low rate is because they cross-subsidise profit from commercial activity with the actual rent cost for students. I was wondering what your response is to that, and would you rather see rent rises that are 10-15% in order to make up for the shortfall?
Good question. So first I would say that the reason why we've had smaller rent increases in the recent past is because up until I think 6 years ago, Edinburgh University had the most expensive accommodation outside of London. And the reason why there were rent freezes put in, or very, very small increases, is actually a result of our rector, Peter McColl's work on that particular issue. So the reason why we have smaller rent increases is because they're already very expensive. We do have expensive accommodation compared to other comparable universities. Secondly, in terms of cross-subsidising from commercial interests, I think that is in itself not a problem if it doesn't infringe on student welfare. So if there is excess space, then sure, use it for whatever. But there isn't excess space. Student welfare has to come first. If you want to build a conference centre, don't build it in a student village. Build it out in Musselburgh where you're putting students.
Is there any more questions? Got a question over here, right?
Could an unintended consequence of filling up, say, Pollock Halls with students for the whole year lead to them being asked to move out over Christmas holidays and Easter holidays in order for them to be open to businessmen, in order for them to make profit? It could be an unintended consequence. Is there anything in the strategy to avoid that happening?
No, of course, the strategy doesn't encompass every foreseeable event, but I don't see how they could possibly justify saying that we have to kick out all students now as a result. To be honest, actually what they currently do is they do kick out students across all the Pollock Halls during Easter, and that's an absolute disgrace because they do it so that they can rent out to, again, commercial interests. And they don't even fill most of the rooms, they fill about 10% or something, so I hear, but I don't know precise figures. So the idea that they could cross-subsidise through renting over Christmas periods is very, very unlikely. So I think it's a very good question, but I don't think it's a very likely consequence. Thank you.
Next. For the purpose of this, because it's in direct reference to you, I don't know questions.
Thank you. And thank you for letting me speak earlier.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm not going to allow any questions because there's direct reference to yourself in this referendum question.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
just if there's a point of information clarity that you'd like to
Yeah, ask my task.
I know we're going into like the nitty-gritty of the strategy, but I'm just wondering if there's anything in there about international students who, even I think if Maston House is reopened, there's still quite a few international students that have to go into private accommodation. I wonder if there's anything in there to like just increase the amount of university accommodation for them.
So the primary thing about strategy is to increase university accommodation. I think there is lots of things we can do to improve university accommodation. It is frankly, the life's a bit of a mess. There's lots we can do to improve it. These are taking the first steps, and then we can see what success we have from that, and then I completely agree, we should go much, much further. There is still a lot to do.
Just also, can I jump in on that? They are building some stuff down Hollywood. It's new information. Sorry. My question is, I actually rent from the university right now, but it's not in a hall. Will this accommodation strategy actually affect me?
Yes, it will. The third point is about affordability, and essentially if you're renting from the university at all, that will affect you because it will affect how much you pay in your rent.